Mics are on.
The mics are on.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Welcome to CITIUS MAG live from the Falmouth Road Race. Kyle is decked out in his singlet because he just finished up running, and we're going to be joined shortly by some of the race winners, some of the other athletes who competed. Kyle, are you all right?
I went out just to do some course research.
Okay.
So that way I'll be able to talk to the athletes a little bit more intimately about what we all experienced out there.
So the results for the people who haven't tuned in, we had Ben Flanagan win his third Falmouth Road Race title. Keira D'Amato comes out here for the first time ever and breaks away at about mile 6 to win her first Falmouth Road Race title. Both really awesome races to watch. I'm sure you could catch a replay on NBC 10 Boston, but we're hoping to sit down with them soon. We've actually got Ben Flanagan right behind us. But overall, would you think of the course, the conditions? Because I mean, that's something that I guess like the people watching at home can't really pick up from.
Let me tell you, that is not a 7-mile tempo on a flat bike path at 7 a.m. on a nice fall day. That is brutal. That hill, that final hill, is so steep. We were baking in the sun. Lots of athletes in the medical tent afterwards. It was tough. Ben,
yeah,
you're allowed to crash. If anyone's allowed to crash,
Mac, let's get his mic on real quick.
Oh, what's going on over here?
Yeah. Just wandering on screen.
Right. Yeah. We're joined by our men's champion, 3-time champion. I think next year this is just going to be known as Ben Flanagan Day here in Falmouth, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Ben, congrats on another victory.
Thank you, man. That was, I think that was probably the hardest one, honestly. It was
really?
tough out there, yeah.
Was this the hottest one?
Yeah, definitely the hottest. And dude, everyone yesterday was like, I had so many residents come up to me, they're like, it's going to be so fast, beautiful out there. And I'm like, I don't buy it.
For the beach after, maybe.
Yeah, it was a grind early, and I mean the field was loaded, so it was hard the whole way.
So walk us through it a little bit. Like, is everyone just waiting for you?
It felt like that. Like after, I mean, the first mile was honest, and then from there, like it looked like everyone was just parking themselves right behind you, just because they knew that you weren't going to let David Bett makes a move and kind of gets away a little. It creates a little bit of space, but nothing concerning. Everyone's still just watching you. Yeah,
I mean, before the race, a couple guys kind of implied they were going to sit behind me, and I was like, dang. So in my head, I was like, you know what? Like, if we're going to run 42 minutes tomorrow, I'll let that happen. If people are going to sit behind me, I'm not doing anything. So, and that's not all how it played out. So honestly, the craziest thing was, so David goes pretty hard. Yeah. And the guy on my mind the most coming into this was Pat. Mm-hmm. I was like, Pat ran great, Tiernan at Bix a couple weeks ago. So when I turned around and I saw him not going with the move, I'm like, all right, if we got a chance to drop Pat Tiernan, we got to go now. So we get away from the field.
He's going to be flattered.
Yeah, I know. I just talked to him. I was like, dude, he had real estate in my head this weekend. So once we got him, I ran with like Chalanga, Lenny, and David. Kip 2 was up there. And what happened was, as soon as I caught up with those guys, Lenny went, and then they all just hit the brakes and just tucked in. Mm-hmm. And it was Bet like 40 meters ahead, then me, and then all these guys tucked in. I was like, oh, damn, I might have just got. Like, that made me pretty nervous because I was like, I might lead this thing for the next 3 miles. So at that point, it was just like, it was kind of like, I don't know, almost like a game of chess. It was like trying to squeeze a little bit, but not spending too much energy. So, late in the race when those guys started to drop a little bit and I started to pull away, I thought I had it.
When in the race, you're like, I got it this year.
Mile 5, I was like, all right, if Bet's not back here at mile 5, we got to do something about it. So I hit 5. I squeeze a bit, I get away from that group behind me, I catch Bet, and I'm like, all right, there's no way this guy's got anything left, and I was completely wrong. I caught up with him, and he didn't let me by, and I was like, damn it, like, this is still gonna be hard. So, he fought like hell until 6.5, and I knew that if I could just get to the hills, I knew them well enough that I thought I could get away.
That last hill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You just ran it, dude.
I just felt.
Isn't it hard?
It's a wall.
Yeah.
So when people say that you have like the home field advantage here, I mean, is it in those last miles just like over the course of, the past year or so, you've come out here a couple times, like this course better than anyone else. Was there moments that like, I don't know, from months ago, you're like, I've run this hill 20 times before?
Yeah, I've been here a lot. So
Harvard Hill training, right?
Literally, that's what Ronnie was saying. Like, he's like, you ran off 48 on Harvard. This is like 48. I was like, all right, Ronnie, sounds good. So, Yeah, I mean, I was here for Thanksgiving, for Christmas a few weeks ago as well. So I've been running up and down here a lot. And honestly, like, if it's one thing to have an advantage on just a random course, but like this course, it's really helpful because it's a grind. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, it's a course where you can make a lot of mistakes. And if you can be patient and trust that, like, you just really know where to dedicate your energy. And if you feel good in that last mile, like, a lot can happen. So I just trusted that, you know, I might have it in the last half mile there.
So you were probably going to get invited back to the Falmouth Road Race already for multiple reasons. Now 3-time champ, you're definitely going to be one of the lifers here with Frank and Bill. But can you tell the story a little bit about why you have such home field advantage here?
Yeah, totally. So
bring it back. You
bring
know,
it way back.
The romantics watching are really going to love it.
Back when my hair was longer, mustache full. I'm just kidding. So in 2018, man, like, I just came off of my by far my best season ever. I was running great. I came in as an underdog, but like, I knew I might have a shot to win. And it's my first major road race, so the whole host family thing was all new to me. And I kicked my legs up at the expo, and no one came to pick me up. Like, I was very clearly like the last athlete there, and I was like, this seems weird. And I heard that my host family just wasn't coming. And the president of the race now, he wasn't the president that year, Scott Gelfie, whose daughter was a golfer at Michigan. He saw a Michigan kid that I was unsponsored at the time, guy decked out in Michigan that didn't have a place to stay. He said, hey, you can come camp out at my place. His daughter was kind of cute.
Whoa!
So that's where I met Hannah. And so Hannah and I both were student athletes at Michigan at the same time. But
Did you know each other?
Didn't know each other.
Wow.
So it was the first time we met. We met here and got back to school and started dating. And shortly after, I actually moved to Virginia to run with the Reebok team. And we made it work. She moved to Virginia a few years later, and now we're getting married in a year from October.
Wow.
So
beautiful.
So you now have a host family.
I now have a host family, for better or for worse.
You're not the lost puppy at the expo waiting for them to come pick you up. You've always got somewhere.
If I no longer have a host family, then my life is taking quite a turn.
Things have fallen apart.
Yeah.
So you really, like, through, post, the World Championship selection process and all that stuff, threw all your chips into winning this race. Why does this one mean so much?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the silver lining of not making teams, which unfortunately I have a lot of experience with. Last year, too, with the Olympics, it's like I feel like I'm just missing, like, the peak, or I'm missing the right race to, like, get those standards to make it. But, it's set me up so well for this race. And the roads, it's just, I mean, I get a question a lot about, like, why, I've had more success on the roads than the track. And, like, I just think the roads, like, if you're fit, you can really just get a jump on guys. And I've come here in great shape. And I knew, like, this time I felt like I feel like I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. But you never really know until you get here. So, yeah, I put all my eggs in this basket. I mean, this race means so much. And, being a former winner, like, you really don't have another option but to win. Mm-hmm. Even just that pride on yourself, it feels like it's the only thing you can do. So I want to give myself the best chance. Ronnie was on board, and we just went all in.
So I was getting a decent amount of cheers along, the course. Just it took me 3 miles to realize it said Merber on my bid.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm very popular here. But no, I got some CITIUS and some Go Kyles. For you, I can't even imagine, like, how much. Like, what was the crowd like?
It's
pretty
pretty
unique
awesome.
Here.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome, and it builds at the right time. Like, mile 5 is right where you see the crowd, and you got everyone the whole way home. The crazy thing is, it's point to point, so it's like the funniest thing is the people you know the most go to the finish line, so you see them last. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like in that last, like, mile and a half, all I'm thinking about is, like, I want Hannah, my parents, and everyone to see me being the first guy out of the hill, but on the way there, people are just going crazy, and it's pretty amazing. It's a really special feeling, and I really feel the sport.
So what do you do with this momentum now? You talked about the disappointment of the team selection process, but you're in the best shape of your life. You just crushed another Falmouth. What's next?
Break some records. Yeah.
Which ones? What are we going for?
So So I'm just kind of putting together my last little bit of the season here. So I'm I'm definitely heading over to, like, Moncton, New Brunswick for the Canadian 5K champs.
Okay.
And I want to take a crack at CPT's record, 13:35 on the roads. And then about 6 to 8 weeks after that, I'm planning on heading to Valencia, Spain. And then I want to take down Rory's record of 61:08 in the half marathon. So that's what the next 2 months are going to look like, and I feel like both are attainable. So we'll see what happens.
So Chuck and Rory watch our stuff. They follow us on Instagram. So if you look into the camera, what message do you have for them?
I hope to see you there. So yeah, I know CPT. He's had a long season, but if he heads out to Moncton, that'd be awesome. He's always a tough guy to beat, and I know he's competitive. So we'll see what happens. I mean, 13:35 on the roads is no joke. So that's gonna be hard no matter what. And then that half marathon in Valencia is just like, it's 1 in 58 minutes usually. So that's going to be a perfect opportunity. It's just a matter of being in the right form around that time. So I have a hard time believing Rory's going to be there because I know he's running the Toronto Marathon. But, I'd love to see Rory there too.
No, amazing.
We haven't spoken too much since you joined, on and back to coach Ronnie and Michigan and that whole thing. How's the whole transition been? It's
been sick. It's been awesome. Like really what I felt like I was looking for. So yeah, I mean, Ronnie is, he's a phenomenal coach. I mean, from the more technical perspective, like I've kind of been like this default 10K guy my whole career. And in 2018, we just kind of tried something new. We tapped into some speed work, and it really worked. And, I mean, Fox, working with him, he got me in some crazy aerobic shape. And I always felt like, maybe if I can mix in a little bit more of that, like, classic Warhurst speed work, like, I'd be curious where we can go after, like, talking with Mason. And he invited me out to Ann Arbor. It seemed like a great opportunity. And, I mean, I've been doing more speed work than I've ever done before. I feel faster than ever before. And, it's really helped, so I just kind of put my chips in that basket, and so far it's been working great, and the culture there is what I was looking for as well. So great environment, just an absolute goon squad between me, Mason, Hobbs, and Willis.
Were
and
you
others.
in Europe?
No,
you didn't get, because I can only imagine the hijinks those guys got up to over there.
Yeah, they were, that was, I would have loved to. It looked like an awesome time, but, Ryan and I were like, all right, let's just lock in 4:30 pace, because honestly, it's hot. We didn't run that fast today, but Ronnie and I were training to break 32 minutes. I was like, if we break 32 minutes, we're going to have a shot at the win. So we just went all in on the strength stuff while those guys, took over Europe.
No, it's awesome. And I'm just pumped because, a performance like this only is, showing that you're headed in the right direction for this fall. So
I hope so. I mean, the next step for me, man, is I gotta make some teams. Like it's been amazing. I love the roads. The one part of my career that I'm missing is like I gotta make a world team. I gotta make an Olympic team. So we'll be pushing for that, whether it's in the 5K, 10K, or marathon. We'll make that decision the next couple months, and it's all in for 2024.
Well, here's now like the unique new thing is that you can qualify and get your points on the roads and cross country.
Yeah.
How big of an advantage is that for you in order to get the standard or the ranking?
I hope so. I'll see how it plays out. And I work with Dan Lilo, which, as you know, he knows it. He's probably doing the algorithms in his head right now. So I'm in good hands there. It's just like 27:10 on the roads. Oh my God, like it's still so fast. So I have to imagine it only helps. It's definitely not going to hurt for a guy like me. So I just don't have enough experience to see like what the output's going to be after a couple of road races under my belt. But the biggest thing is it's more accessibility to 10Ks, because as you know, a 10K on the track, there's not many that go that fast. So at least having a couple of road ones to sprinkle in there, hopefully can increase the ranking spots.
Are you going to go World Cross if selected?
Maybe. It's all about timing. Like after Valencia, that's going to be October 23rd. Canadian cross country champs are late November. So it's not impossible. We'll see. I know I saw Manchester organizers here too, and
the double again.
That's a race that I won last year. So between Manchester cross country champs or just training, I'll have to make some decisions.
We've talked about the Infinity Stone before. Winning all the major U.S. road races.
Dude,
what's next? You've got Manchester and Falmouth.
You got to get Beach to Beacon.
Yeah, I want to do Beach to Beacon. Peachtree's got to be one.
Peachtree for sure.
I mean, you could probably put Bix up there. Bix might make that cut.
If you're a Michigan guy or Midwest,
So, yeah, Beach to Beacon is definitely on my mind. Peachtree, I mean, maybe Cherry Blossom 10-miler.
Yeah.
So
Boulder to Boulder.
Yeah,
Boulder
dude,
roller.
I would get smoked there because I got that'd be hard. But the biggest, I guess, hot take I've gotten since I've been here, either in Strava comments or just in passing, is people are like, dude, why aren't you going mile 7 back to back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm terrified about just the 7 tomorrow. The last thing I need is, trying to close in a 55 point with Paul Ryan the night before and then trying to run this 12 hours later. But if I was to ever take a crack at that, next year would be the only year. But that to me is like, that would take a serious level of confidence.
Yeah.
You might have it now after 3 years.
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like you go walk around Falmouth right now, your head will, you're not going to squeeze through the door of the after
Dude,
party.
even some of the comments I was making this week, and I knew I was starting to fly a little too close to the sun. So, like, I'm glad I pulled it off. But, I mean, hopping on that mile field, like, I could only imagine a couple of elites just rolling their eyes, being like, damn, this guy's getting out of hand.
What'd you end up doing for the celebration? It was you chucked up the 3
I jumped.
and the hurdle.
It jumped again.
We'll see what the pictures are like. But got to give the people what they want. So that jump is
Signature now.
signature. So I've had people get mad at me at other races. They're like, why didn't you jump? And I'm like, there's only one place that I do the jump. I was like, this is literally the only spot I do it. And it's pretty ridiculous, but people seem to love it. And you guys know how it goes. You gotta give the people what they want,
That's awesome.
All right, Ben, we'll let you get to the celebration. Thanks so much for
I gotta go pee
stopping
in a
by.
cup. So
Go for it. Good luck.
Yeah, I'll see you guys. See you later. Thanks for everything you do.
I see
No,
you got
of course,
bib number
yeah.
1. I like that.
I know
Yeah.
that, as if the pressure wasn't already there. They're like, here you go. Don't screw it up. Thanks, guys.
Have a
All
good
right, and now we're swapping out Ben for our women's champion, American
in.
record holder, and we're also bringing
Oh.
on Dana Giordano, who also ran. Ooh, that's a nice
I'm
trophy.
also Keira's host family.
Oh, there you go.
Host with the most family.
Kira, congratulations.
You won.
Thank you. I won it.
We warmed up together.
I know. I think it was all those vibes. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
we had
gave me
good
all the
vibes, very
yeah.
relaxed.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
chill. Yeah.
So I guess Dana and Keira, can you kind of sort of paint the picture of what the conversation has been like over at the house like the last 2 days? Was it sort of like, yeah, it's going to be a full send, or was it like more low key?
You did
like,
run 10 miles yesterday.
that's the other
which
thing we saw on
intimidated
Strava.
me.
Really?
Yeah.
You were a little intimidated.
I was like,
I think it needs to go back a little bit where Keira knew, was it like a week ago? A week and a half ago? You're like, can I stay?
oh yeah, like I was like, hey, you once mentioned that if I ever did Falmouth, I could stay with you, and can I do that now? And you're like, okay, yeah, come on in. And I was like, can I also bring my husband?
And now here we are. Look
Yeah.
at us. Look at us.
Yeah, host family, woo.
how'd the race play out?
So it went out like pretty solid. I think like in the 5:00s, probably around the same pace that the World's Marathon went out.
Really?
Yeah, it felt harder
accustomed to
today.
this.
Yeah, but because it was just hot. And then there was like a pack of us that just slowly kind of just started getting smaller and smaller. And then around like 3.5, I like surged through the water table. And I was just dumping as many as I could on me. And then I realized I was in the lead. So I was like, accidental lead. Let's roll with it. This seems like a good place to make a move. So then I just tried to and it was right where it was really sunny too. So I was like, I'm just going to roll with this
sunny.
and just go.
I should have done the shades.
Yeah.
I think that's a big
See-
advantage.
See, this pro tip, always wear shades in races.
I went hat.
Well, here's the thing. If it's windy, it will block stuff from getting in your eye too.
Okay.
And it blocks the sun. And for photos, you can't see the pain in your eyes. So it's, pro tip, wear the shades.
Okay.
My only instructions, the only thing I told you about the race was the first 3 are hilly, the 4th mile is hot as hell.
And that's where I made that
and
move, I
then
guess.
You have to hit the hill hard, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But Edna, I think, went with me. So I heard her, and she's like a hometown hero here. Everyone was cheering for Edna, and that's terrifying having Edna on your heels. Like last night we were looking up her stats and we're like, which marathons has she won?
All of
and
them.
the answer is all of them. And that's how I was like, ooh, okay. And she was like right on me. So I was like, man,
She
this
was
is
also sitting at the mile. You guys were in the little hot shack, so you didn't notice, but she was sitting at the mile, like in the shade, and she was
Just
underneath
watching?
the clock, like hanging out, watching.
she's not watching, waiting.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Before the race, her and I walked up to the porta potty line at the same time, and I was like, "You go," and she was like, "No, you go." And we were in a little standoff right there.
Yeah, it's a power
I ended up
move.
going first.
What?
She told me. I was like, "Okay."
So you must have come off the World Championship Marathon feeling pretty good to sign up for this one, and then a little bit of another short build-up towards Berlin, right?
Yeah. It was, that's kind of what we've been like aiming for. So when Worlds was when I was going to start my build-up. But turns out when you do a marathon, like not prepared for a marathon, like my systems gave out, so I recovered really quickly. So my body just got tired and I couldn't run anymore before like my muscles broke down. So within like, I think it was maybe 10 days out, I started working out like hard again. I started running within a couple days. So we'll see, man. I feel like I may have 2 like little underbake marathons now, but we'll go for it. We'll send it.
So why Berlin, I guess, is what a lot of people might be curious about. I mean, we see the American fields and how strong they are for Chicago and New York, but you chose to go to Berlin.
The beer.
Yeah, it's probably Oktoberfest afterwards,
Yeah,
right?
Oktoberfest is a large part of it. Tony D, I think, played some influence. But I think this is like, I haven't really even announced it yet that I'm doing Berlin, so this is kind of, I guess, I'm doing Berlin.
This is actually how this
Breaking.
goes, because I think you accidentally announced Houston.
No, I
on
think
my
I saw.
podcast.
I saw someone else tweet about it before, so it wasn't me. The cat's been out of the bag subtly
look
before.
at that camera, tell them
Yeah.
you're doing Berlin.
I'm doing Berlin, man.
Yeah.
So in Houston, like I feel like I was in shape to run faster than I did in Houston.
That's
so
scary.
I want to run faster than I did in Houston. And having a really great speed session this spring, I think will play into a really fast marathon. I'm hoping, I've had enough consecutive training, even with Worlds, that I'll be able to do that. But I think I can run faster, so I'm going to go try to run faster. That's the plan.
And workouts have been showing that?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like, I think it's going to take a little, like, after Worlds, I've had to, like, ramp back up. But it's also, like, been working out in this kind of weather in Richmond, so it's been hot and humid. So I feel like the effort's been there. The times haven't, I feel like, been showing it as much as I'd like. But I think with, like, another full, I think I have, like, another 4 weeks, so I get another cycle, and I think I should hopefully be crushing it in the cycle, but we'll see, man.
Does Falmouth give you the confidence boost? Because I feel like you kind of came into this with, I'm going to go for it and see what happens, but now that you did take the win over Edna,
I'm
how are you
happy.
feeling?
I felt so strong today. So I felt like I could maintain. I'm not sure what my splits were, but I felt like really consistent with my effort the whole time. So that gives me a lot of confidence that I'm strong for a marathon right now. But
Does 7 miles convert? Like, is that, if you run 7 miles well, does that say you can run 26 miles well? Or is
Yeah.
She's
it
got
too
another
far
6
apart?
today.
yeah, I'm gonna
she's
have to
running
run.
home.
I'm gonna just run home from
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah. So
The course in reverse.
I hope so. I think that's how it works.
If I drink enough Gatorade, I'll join you.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Depending on when we're done here.
Yeah, I would love that. I have to do drug testing, so you have
Okay.
some time to
All
finish
right,
up,
cool.
and then chug the.
No
chug the
one's
Gatorade.
testing me right now. No one's worried.
What's impressed you? You stalk her Strava all the time. What's impressed you recently?
It's the range. It's like you're able to step on the track and do some really impressive workouts and then turn around and still be able to do the long runs.
Yeah.
And I think that oftentimes you have to pick. It's like, is someone going to be really, really strong and be able to crush 23, 24-mile long runs, or are they going to be able to rip 220, 800s on the track, and you seem to be able to do both?
Yeah, I think like my coach trains me that way, and I think I've always and he always jokes around that he still thinks of me as a 1,500 meter runner, which is hilarious because I've never been a 1,500 meter runner. But I think
Everyone thinks they're a 1,500 meter runner.
No, I definitely don't think I'm a 1,500 meter runner, but I think I can train like on the track and like access that speed, and then just build up the endurance. I don't know, but it's a unique way of training, I think, but I think it works for me, so I'm gonna keep rolling with it.
Hey, so last night you were hanging out in our chat during the Falmouth Mile.
Yeah, that was okay.
Tell me about it.
Okay, one, you guys crush it. It is so fun.
It's all
That's all
Mac.
Mac.
That's Mac.
Mac, you crush it. It is so fun to watch you guys put on these events and then to allow the community to be interactive with it. That was really fun.
Just hang out in the chat, talking about what's going on.
It was
and, yeah.
awesome. I think we all need to get on there, and I think we need like meetups on the chat room of the YouTube.
We always say,
CITIUS MAG.
do we get a discourse or something?
Yeah.
or whatever it
That's
is.
what Clubhouse was
Discord?
supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Well, and then, what is it? You're a month into, as if you already didn't have enough on your plate. You opened up the store. How's the first month been?
It's been awesome. I think we've been open, just 2 or 3 weeks
Okay,
now.
yeah.
So it's been awesome, man.
Are you going to the running event?
I think that's part of the reason why I opened up a store, so I can get an invitation.
Because
to
you
the
need more
running
free
event.
stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to
yeah.
be sneaking our way in, I
Yeah,
think.
let's go,
I think so. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
try and do something out there.
Yeah, that's always a fun time.
How did that come about?
So it's been a dream of both my husband and I to have a running store. And actually, this could be a really long answer. I'm going to try to make this a lot shorter.
No, go for it.
But right after I stopped running, running kind of broke my heart. And my way to cope with that is I just wasn't involved with running at all. I didn't want to run. I didn't want to be part of it. I just pretended like I never was a runner. But then Potomac River Running in Northern Virginia, they had 8 stores. They asked me to come on as their director of marketing. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know if I want to get back into running. Like, it broke my heart. But I ended up doing it. And through that, I learned how to like love running from like a community aspect without any goals. I learned that running is so much more than how fast you can go. And that's why I'm here today, is because I learned how much more running could be. And so I want to give that to my community. And in Midlothian, there was not a running store. So I wanted to put a running store and help people like get back into running or start running or walking or whatever, anything in between. But I just want to put that back because I know how much is given to me. And then also like Tony D has worked at a running store when he was younger, and he's just obsessed with shoes and stuff. So he's always wanted to have a running store too. So
the coolest part of your store that you're describing is whenever you're having a guest, there's a special corner of the store. So right now it's Keira's corner, but if we ever came, it could be the CITIUS corner.
Really?
We'll flip
nice.
it. CITIUS will carry
where
your
we put all our
products,
favorite
your
products,
things.
Oh, wow,
sponsors.
that's
That could
awesome.
be your spot.
I would love to have you now in front of like live. Would you guys like to come?
Yeah.
Can we do
absolutely.
it? Yeah, I would love to have
If we find
you
ourselves
down
in the
there.
area, for sure.
If we
we'd go.
find ourselves in the area, we'll just drive there, and now
Yeah,
we're in the
yeah.
area.
Yeah,
We
you
found
would find
ourselves.
if you drove there, you would find yourself in the area. So.
put
Well, the
in
other
the
funny thing is
GPS.
too is like,
Yeah.
could we troll like with our favorite items, like put like some toe shoes or something like
Yeah.
that on the wall? Be like,
Gummy
why does
bears,
Kyle love
beer,
to run
yeah.
his marathon?
Well, the thing I'm worried about is I'm gonna walk in and it's just Nike shoes on the wall.
We
is
have
there-
everything.
We're everything.
Yeah,
okay.
we have everything. Absolutely. Yeah, we have a wide range of everything.
But your corners.
my corner is like Nike, but but the whole store isn't Nike.
I've got a quick question for you, Keira. So on a race day like this, how long does it take you to come up with the pun for Strava?
Oh yeah.
So
there's
that's
so
a good
many.
question. I actually don't pun on race day. I just put the race title. So races are actually easier than runs because I just put up like Falmouth and then I'll do like a little gold medal because I want to.
Hey.
So yeah, you see, yeah. So I don't know why. I should probably be joking with race, but actually in races people will yell like, "What's your joke for today?" And I'm
Yeah, like,
"I'm
all right, let me
just gonna
stop
do-"
real quick and
I
tell you.
actually appreciated for the World Champs Marathon, because you had a tough time after that because
Yeah.
short build-up. You just left it as morning run
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a very long time, and I was like, yeah.
It's a power move.
Yeah, I think I did that for Houston too, but mainly that's because I don't have my phone for a while and then I'm
Yeah.
in drug testing, so I don't get back to be able to update it. But yeah, I'll leave this as morning run for a while too. And then,
One more thing you texted me about recently was you are now an ambassador with Hydro, and you had like
yeah.
an idea you wanted to propose Kyle, who has the CITIUS MAG Hydro at his house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If
what's
anyone
your idea?
sees CITIUS MAG's hydro account in the back of a pack
you.
one day. it's
my
me.
husband and I have been Hydro users for years, and we've officially like partnered up with them. But my husband is a beast on Hydro. He is like, you saw his 400. He can like put that to shame on a Hydro. So like, we're challenging you, Kyle. Like, we know your legs can move fast, but can
No, they
you
cannot.
move that fast on the water?
No.
So my husband wants to challenge you. So I
Look at
think
my
we
arms.
need to.
Look, compared to Tony's arm.
You have good
But
endurance.
I was
though.
saying in
Isn't
the
it all
winter.
legs? The hydro.
Is it legs?
It's a
a
full
lot
body. You can do a full
legs.
body.
It's a
Rowing
full body
is supposed
workout.
to be mostly legs. I
It's
think.
mostly
I
like
use
what
all
you got at
back.
the end, like.
Yeah.
all shrimp mode.
Lift with your back.
I don't know if that's. Yeah.
I think in the winter, right now I'm in running mode. I'm
Okay.
enjoying the road race scenes and getting outside.
But I've heard like other marathoners like use it as like a part of their warm up or like supplement it. How have you used it with
I don't
running?
have
Yeah.
infinite time right
Yeah, yeah.
now, so I think in the winter I'll be in better hydro
So
shape.
for my like strength days and stuff, it's like an easy warm up and cool down to do like just a little cardio before you get into it. So that's awesome. I use their Pilates like once or twice a week, and the instructor is also a runner. She like does some ultra runs even. She's so cool. I have a huge crush on her, but she does even running specific Pilates. So when like COVID shut down, like I used to go to Pilates class, but now I do it all in the hydro. It's awesome. Christy, you should definitely look up the Pilates.
There was one
too.
guy who was just talking about.
Oh
Is it
really?
Christy?
You
She
know
used to live in
Christy?
Boston.
Oh wow.
She's awesome. Shout out to
She's-
Christy.
There was
She's awesome.
there was one guy who was just talking about Prefontaine for like 15 minutes on one of the rows I
Really?
did, and like he was talking about Without Limits and like Lido.
Was it Dietz? Was it James Dietz?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
He also, I think he used to be a runner too.
Oh,
yeah.
This guy was a runner.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So between now and Berlin, any other races or?
I'm going to do the New Haven 20K.
Okay. You were
I've
thinking
thought about jumping in.
Let's do it, man.
If you love humidity, you will love the New Haven 20K.
You got me today. I was
What
in
was
no
your
man's.
time?
I was like 36, 39.
What was my time?
I have it
36,
here, I can look it up.
19 or something.
So I really got
Yeah,
you.
you got me good.
Wow.
But everyone went out at
She was 32. Oh, no.
everyone went out at like 5-minute pace, and I was like, I'm in 5:15 shape.
Yeah.
So I just ran 5:15s
See,
basically the
that's
whole
solid.
time.
Yeah.
Kira's 36:14.
36,
What were you?
14.
I was like 36, 38 or 9
Okay.
or something.
I
so.
see you. I see
But
you.
don't just my trajectory right now. Be on the lookout.
Yeah. That's,
Can't wait for your marathon matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Head-to-head.
we'll say- I'll get into Berlin.
Yeah. Come do Berlin with me. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks,
so.
guys. Falmouth's great.
Yeah.
Bounce off.
Yeah. Here, well, we know that you have to do some drug testing,
Yes.
so thanks for sitting down with
Yeah,
us. And
thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
if we line up post drug testing and post after
We can
final
run
lap,
back.
we can run
That'd be
back.
Yeah.
awesome. You guys
Amazing.
need to be at all the races. If any race director or whatever, they need to be here. This is such a fun energy. They really engage everyone. So thanks for having me. And
We'll see you. You'll see her at the
Maybe on our
20K.
cooldown.
Yeah.
see you 20K. Yeah.
Don't
Bye.
forget your
Oh
trophy,
yeah, I'll take
yeah.
this. Yeah. All right. Bye guys.
See ya.
Bye.
They we already have our next guest lined up.
Yeah, it looks like it.
They asked me when I crossed the finish line, they're like, medal? And I was like, no, thank you. I don't. I felt like I'm okay. All right.
right.
Wherever you want, come on close.
I think you might have got him.
The tally.
Do we need the official?
David, can you look up Kyle's official result? Yeah. So
All right.
Marielle was
Third place.
44.
Third place finisher, Marielle Hall, 36:44.
Yes.
Good race.
Thank you.
How
what
you
were
feel?
you? I want to know what your time
Okay,
is now.
but because it will dictate how you describe your
Yeah,
race.
yeah.
I actually had way more in tank, and
That's
Yes.
what they all say.
yeah. But how did it go? Like, how did that race play out? We didn't get to see you. I
Great.
didn't start next to you.
It was, I feel like it's kind of like every road race has been, particularly for me, is like stick with people as long as I can. They will separate and then just try and like regroup. And today regrouping was like being able to actually catch people, which was fun. Yeah.
Have you done Falmouth before, or was this your first time?
This is my first time, but I was telling them I've been to Woods Hole a ton growing up, coming in the summer, but I just never actually have seen Woods Hole. Like it's just get on the ferry, go over.
Okay.
But so yeah, to actually see it was nice.
So how are you liking the roads? Like, in sort of like experimenting more with it, finding, the distance that you like. How's that been going?
So hard. Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah. I feel like it's, I don't know, everyone who I feel like makes the transition kind of romanticizes. They're like, oh, just like I feel like myself out here, and I
Yeah.
feel like every time.
Community.
Yeah, no, it's so hard. Like,
8 degrees out.
it's so hard. Like cups are just flying at you at all times.
How are you at grabbing cups?
No, I don't grab anything because I
What?
don't want to. No, I don't.
7 miles, no sips of water.
No, that's usually I'm gonna buy a move when they go get drinks. Yeah, that's my strategy. It's like they'll slow down and like I'll regroup. But I don't have time to get a drink. No grabbing of anything. Just trying to stay in my lane.
Is this official transition now? Like, are you a road runner?
No, I feel like everyone can do everything, and
You say that.
no, I think it's true.
Yeah.
And I.
Oh,
We tied. We need decimals.
Yeah.
We need decimals.
Wow. Rock, paper, scissors,
Wow.
settle
Like,
it.
this is you asking to be my training partner.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
Where are
that's what
you?
you're
Where are you
saying.
living right now?
I'm in Providence.
Okay.
So,
That, yeah, a small 2.5, 3 hour commute for me.
Yeah, no.
We'll meet in the middle for long runs in
Perfect.
Hartford.
Yeah, this is what it sounds like.
How has the transition living in Providence been? Running for Coach Benninger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How is that?
It's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I think just like watching Molly's get like her in the midst of her comeback, I think it's been like a fun place to be because we're both trying to like regroup and get back on it. And it's just like, I think there's understanding there of just like okay, not me comparing myself to Molly being pregnant. It's different, but I do want to just feel like there is camaraderie and like having transitions and like trying to like get back on
Yeah.
it. But that sounds bad.
No,
It's
no,
not
no.
the same.
You-
But it's been fun for sure. I think Kurt is coaching at Brown, so like to be around the college team is fun. It's
That youth energy, right?
Ivy energy is different, but there is there is youthfulness there, but they're stressed for sure. So that's been fun, and yeah, I think it's just you've been in the small New England towns, you just don't realize how much running culture is there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just like random groups meeting every time I'm on the track, every early mornings, late at night. People are out there for sure, so that's been fun.
Yeah, because you were talking about how like you can still jump on the track. Molly is, I guess, like the queen of like saying this is my last track season, and then like the next year, so I'll still go and win USAs.
Right.
So you're still jumping on the track. Like how workouts been going in the lead up to this?
Yeah, I think it's been kind of track focused workout wise, and then just coming on the roads because I think it's just like a good way to just get out there more. You're just working on different things, and I do want to be able to like figure out the roads, but for me, I think you still have to be able to move pretty well on the track, especially with the kind of times people are running. The paces like aren't that different between a 10K on the track and on the road, so they complement each other well. I'm still like trying to get my track legs, but just getting my track legs and then testing it on the roads.
So in a race like this, when it's like your first time doing it, and there's certain people running certain tangents, like
Right.
where do you find yourself? It is sort of like, I trust that person more.
Yeah, I do. That is part of it where I'm just like, I'm following the wrong person, or I'm like, you're too close. I clip someone, which you don't do, I feel like, on the roads.
Galen does it to everybody.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't think people enjoy that, and there's way too much space for it. But yeah, the tangent element of it, I think the idea of just like on the track, you're so focused on like feeling good.
Yeah.
And here it's just like a shit show. I feel like I'm just out just flailing around a lot. And it's just kind of a little bit, I don't want to say grittier, but it just feels like you don't settle as much, especially in like these shorter distances where it's just like lots of surging, lots of like you trying to find your rhythm, but also kind of feeding off of other people's cadences. So a lot going on. I haven't figured it out perfectly, but it's been fun.
I felt like I was the only one taking the tangents in the sub-elite men's section.
Right. No, the women I feel like there was a divide between and I wasn't sure who had ran the course before besides Edna. So she's like the queen of just running the smartest race, always kind of like sticking behind, staying in the pack, and then I saw her pass me and was like, that's a good race.
Yeah.
But I was in the front, just like, I feel good for 2 miles. So yeah, she probably ran the shortest and smartest race of everyone, besides the winner, Keira. But yeah.
I think that's also like kind of one of the things that it's really cool to hear this from you, because so many people get excited after, seeing you run really well in a 10K on the track, or it's the same case as like someone like Lopez, who we were watching like a race video a couple days ago, and he was like, Lopez just needs to move up to the marathon right now. And I think a lot of people thought the same thing. It's like Marielle's going to make a great marathoner someday, and it's like that someday a lot of people think is much sooner than they kind of realize. So like you're still in this learning curve side of things. That marathon for you is still a little bit down the road.
I think it's mostly people are right where it's just like you could probably run a good marathon if you're ready mentally. And I think it's just taken some time to even be like, okay, yes, I could do that. And even coming out here, like racing hard for 7 miles, it's just like, oh my, this is hard. Like this is not going to
Imagine another 19 miles.
Exactly, that's how I'm thinking. So it's just like, I think it's just the preparation aspect of it where you want to feel mentally and physically prepared to do the distance. And I don't necessarily feel like track always gets you ready for that. Like for me personally, not everyone. I think some people make the switch, it's no big deal, but I feel like if you make the switch like that, it's mentally because you're excited about it and you're ready. And I just need I gotta work my way into it. I've never been someone who's just like, yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
That's not me. So I gotta.
The thing that's so interesting about the roads versus the track too is like on the track, you're winding it up and you're gonna negative split and you're aware of how, and it's just a very gradual, like it gets harder and harder. On the road, they're just like, we're gonna go out so hard.
Right, yeah.
And everyone's gonna feel terrible immediately.
Exactly.
And then we're gonna die, we're gonna surge, we're gonna die, we're gonna surge. Let's go out the window. Yep. You never know where you are. You don't know if you're having a good race or a bad race for the majority of it.
Yes.
And then at the end, like the time is like, oh, surprise.
Yeah, no. And I feel like that's been the good part about it, because I do think it could translate well for track, where you just learn not to like settle so much. You're just like not as like, I feel like Molly is someone who is always really good. You could like she wasn't scared to front run, because I think she did a lot of roads and was just like, every time you went out, it was just like, I'm gonna see what I can do on the day. I'm not gonna like sit in the pack and kick. which I think this like racing out here teaches you that, to just kind of like be able to feel what rhythms work for you and like how to really like test fields. So hopefully that's the hope.
So what else do we got, the rest of the summer and into the fall? I know possibly like the 5K is the 5K in New York, the 5K champs again?
Yeah, and you got the 10K champs on Long Island.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I think the original plan was to do the 10K and then, what's that? Cow Harbor 10K?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cow Harbor.
Do that, but I think I want to do a half in the fall, and that's something that's like I'm excited about. I want to like put on the calendar, actually focus, because I feel like we've been really flexible with racing and training like coming up, and I think that's good, but you also kind of need some of that rigidness back to get where you need to be by June of next year. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to do in the fall. So may skip the 10K and just get ready to do a half. Yeah.
Nice. It's
Sounds
exciting.
exciting. Do you have a big cool down that you got to go to now, or what? If you're going to be doing a half,
Yeah.
is
that what I
7
gotta
miles and a warm up enough for a single day?
I feel like I'm good. Yeah. I think I did it. I did what I need to do.
Very cool.
Love it. Marielle, we appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Yeah, sweet.
and
Thank you.
We're excited to see you more on the roads.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Good
For sure.
stuff.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yes.
When we'll find out the decimal splits.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
we can, I'll
He's
talk
gonna
to
go
someone.
talk to somebody.
Yeah. See if I can get moved up to 36:43.
Talk to someone.
Yeah.
All right, I guess
Have a good. Ooh, this is a little
Yeah.
damp down here.
all good.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Have a good one. You guys.
See ya. All right, we're bringing on our next guest. Here we go. We've got Colin, Bennie, who finished, what was it? 9th today. I'm getting PR emails from you now, new job and everything.
Yes, I'm
rocking
What
the
do
new-
we
repping
got?
The shirt. Perform running. I just moved to San Francisco.
Very
And
cool.
found a new company to work with, and we do remote running coaching. So I got to do a little coaching, and we just partnered with. We just brought Meb Kefleski on board.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's kind of familiar around these parts. I heard he has run pretty well
Yeah.
out in Massachusetts. So
Very cool. Have you coached before, or are you just winging it, using your own experience as a gamer?
yeah, I've tried to absorb as much from Coach Fox as possible over the years, and just kind of figuring it out as I go. But people
Don't
trust
tell
me,
your
so,
athletes. Yeah.
How'd you feel about today?
It was good. I mean, Falmouth is amazing. It's hard. This was one of my first road races back when I got started, and there is kind of nothing better than the atmosphere here in terms of road racing. So I feel like it's always interesting this time of year. You got guys coming off the track who are just ready to rip, and I feel like I was kind of coming the other direction, just starting to feel like 430s, 440s are a little bit more natural. So it was good. Yeah, I was really pleased with where I was at.
So what marathon are you getting ready for this fall?
I'm not. I'm actually
Okay.
going to take this fall off from
What?
marathon. I know.
Focus
So-
on your athletes.
Exactly. Focus
Yeah.
on my athletes. I got new priorities these days. I got to focus on. I have a lot of athletes running CIM, so I got to go.
Oh, very
Got to
cool.
watch them now that I'm out in California. But I'll try to keep tearing up the roads, and 10-mile champs is up next, I think. So do that and take a run at some U.S. champs.
Can you give us kind of an update as how we got to the point of you moving out to San Francisco? I mean, people saw you run this past spring, and so kind of what have the last 12 months really been like?
Yeah,
A lot of change.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of change, a little topsy-turvy, just sort of figuring out sponsorship stuff. Obviously, that's kind of one of the challenges of the sport, which makes it tough, but honestly, I think it worked in my favor a little bit, and just in terms of allowing me to make this move and kind of have a nice life change at a good time in terms of where I was at with running. And I've been loving San Francisco for running. It's nice.
Why San Francisco?
My girlfriend got a job out there.
Oh, cool.
And so it was a kind of a nice natural move. And being a Massachusetts guy, I had to go see the other ocean at least once in
Yeah.
my life.
It's cold, right?
Oh my God, summer out there, 65, foggy, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's getting nice now. We've got sun the last few days out there, so.
How've the hills been treating you?
Oh, kicking my butt, kicking my butt, but in a good way. So I thought they were gonna get me more ready for this one here, but I don't know. I think I got a little more fitness to find before I'm feeling better on that.
Where most of your running in Golden Gate Park, is that where?
A lot of Golden Gate Park, making our way down closer, down further down the bay a little ways. So many trails. done a few trail runs up across the bridge and the headlands and stuff like that.
Well, the best cities for running. Let's just throw it out there really quick.
Not New York.
I don't know. New York's not bad. New York, Boston is like
Boston's up there.
it's up
gotta be
there.
up there,
Like
right?
major cities. LA's terrible for running.
Yeah.
San Francisco's okay.
I haven't spent much time in Chicago, so I don't really know what that's.
A lot of
like.
lakeshore
But
drive.
we're talking about
yeah.
like big
cities
Because,
only.
Like, then this eliminates Flag and Boulder.
Yeah, no, those
Yeah.
don't count.
Yeah.
But San Francisco, I mean, problem is you can't really just go for a road run.
Right.
Right, like-
Although Golden Gate Park, I mean, it's got at this point, it's probably one of the only times you can say that something good came from the pandemic. But they've closed a decent number of roads throughout the city.
Really?
So where we are out there, we can run 2 miles from our apartment right to Land's End Park on a street that's closed to cars.
Very cool.
It's just right down the middle of the street. So it's because it's just like a slow street. So it's great. And Golden Gate is closed to cars for a lot of it. So you can get a 8-mile loop without having to stop.
So put your coaching hat on right now.
All right.
You're speaking to
I think that's
yourself.
just where I turn it around.
Yeah. You're speaking to yourself about today's performance. What did you execute well, and what could you have improved upon?
Ooh, I'd go improved upon first. One, try not to fall down the hill. I almost ate it coming down the hill.
The
towards
final
end.
one.
Final hill.
At your most
people
tired, they
were-
give
yeah.
you the hardest one to navigate.
People were like, "Were you trying to pump up the crowd?" And I was going, "No, I was trying to stay on my feet. And my arms went up in the air. It was a bit of a mess." But I think I could have tried to stick my nose in it. I think the guys made the move around 3 miles to sort of chase down Bet.
Did you
a
just
little
say
bit.
you said no, not right now?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was just sort of definitely get a little nervous with sort of how quick 4:30s feel sometimes, and at this time. But I felt like I moved up pretty well in the last few miles, so I was happy with being strong. But it was good. Didn't give up.
That was your do well? You moved
Yeah, I
up?
did well. Moved up,
Okay.
so we'll take that.
Yeah. And then sort of, you brought up the sponsorship side of things. I feel like because, we talked to Fauble a lot. You're in a very similar boat where it's like you guys run really fast.
You're in your
marathon.
209?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And it's like,
Come on.
what else does he need to do?
Yeah, I feel like I just need to start. Maybe I'm just not good enough on social media. Maybe I need to start making more jokes or something like that.
Yeah, that helps. People
I
love
don't know,
jokes.
you know?
Yeah. Jokes and
Memes,
selfies.
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
memes.
see, I can't do selfies. I think the problem is once you put my face on something, everyone kind of goes, I don't know if I'm going to want to.
Yeah, they're out. Yeah.
No, I can't. He's not good enough with Photoshop.
You gotta
for me
be
like he should
shameless.
I know, it's true. It's true.
Self-promoter.
I know.
You need like a Vince McMahon,
Yeah.
that's
a good,
telling you to
Yeah, Vince, if you're out there listening,
help
I could
your
use some
social
coaching.
media. Yeah.
And then because the period that we find ourselves now is we're like 16 months out of the Olympic trials for the marathon, which we still don't even know where
Unbelievable to think about.
where it's
right?
going to
Like,
be. We have no idea where it's going to be. Or
Where do you want
when
it to
it's gonna
be?
Yeah,
I've heard Chattanooga and
Austin and Orlando, I think.
Austin? Okay, Orlando.
Maybe.
That's what people have suggested, or that's
I think
what,
that's the
That's
ru-
like the
rumored
rumored
cities.
finalists.
Interesting. Okay, those are kind of. I would not have guessed any of those.
Like
to be honest.
Orlando
I
in
mean,
February.
Orlando, in
Yeah,
February, that
could
could
be
be kind
good.
of nice. I feel like I feel like Orlando's kind of flat, right? Would that be?
I would
Yeah.
think
I
so.
haven't spent a
Right?
lot of
I
time.
don't
down
remember
in that neck
walking
of
up
the
much hills at
No.
like Disney.
woods. Yeah, yeah. I think. Would they make you go up Magic Mountain?
That's where people make the break.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna run in costume. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to. I wouldn't be opposed to kind of a fast course. I feel like that's kind of a neat thing to have.
Yeah.
Be sort of.
Well, your personal best obviously came on a fast course, but you
Mhm.
ran great in the marathon project.
Yes, I will say, as much as I love the marathon project, having rose-colored glasses, it going well. Not a 2-mile loop, please. Whoever's coming up with this course,
Minimum 3
Minimum
miles.
3, yeah. Yeah. Just give us 4 times around as opposed to 6, please. I want a little more sights to see.
So this fall off, like when you're kind of in the process of like laying out the next sort of year and a half, like what is the purpose of taking the fall off from a marathon? Is it just sort of like to hone in on some of the, I guess, speed that comes from 10 to 15 to 20 miles or what?
Yes, I'd say so. I think last fall with Boston, there was definitely a little bit of me that probably benefited from having tried to go for it on the track a little bit, to try to make trials for the 10K, and then kind of come back from running a lot of 420s, 430s, and 450s feel a little bit better. Not much better by the time you get to 26, but a little bit better. But yeah, I think I could use, obviously talking with Ben Flanagan, I feel like he's a strong proponent of in sort of bottom up training in terms of getting faster to make the longer distances feel a little bit better. And I don't know if I don't think you'll see me in any miles or 1500s, but I think some shorter, faster stuff could definitely benefit me when it comes to a longer distance.
Is Fox continuing to coach you?
Yes.
Okay.
Still working with Coach Fox, which is nice.
Are you going to have a group out in San Francisco, or is it going to be a lot of solo stuff?
Probably a decent amount of solo stuff. I found some guys out there. It's obviously the beauty of being in a big city like that. It helps to just have a lot of bodies around you, and there's a few guys who have run really well for marathons. And
Pat, come in. Come say hi. This is how we operate on CITIUS.
It's good.
Pat, Tiernan, done with you guys finished right next to each other. Did you not?
Yeah.
Did you almost see him fall at the end?
No, Pat was way in front of me at that point.
Really?
He got me on the hill and said, "I'll see you at the finish line."
Yeah, I wish. Bloody hell. No, Colin came flying by me at 5 miles.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have gone too far if you got me.
No, I got a sniff. Whoever it was in between us started dropping back to me, and I was like, maybe.
Well, Pat's also in the throes of marathon training here.
I was going to say wedding training.
Yeah,
we're
true,
1 week
right?
away.
Yeah, 1 week away. Yeah.
You're going to have a nice color after today.
Yeah.
Nice
I'll have
glow
to bring the
for the
pink down
photographers.
to hopefully a light brown. We'll see. Today was good though. I feel like it's a great race. I don't know about Colin, but for me, I just don't think I was mentally prepared to race today as much as I should have been. But,
do you know what Ben said? He said you were the guy he was looking at as his biggest competition. He was keying off you.
I told Ben, he told me that, and I said, "Well, mate, the race got a lot easier for you after mile 2." So, he was telling. I think I saw somewhere that he'd been preparing for this race for a while. This is kind of his local derby, so he's always going to be tough to beat at Falmouth, from what I've heard. So yeah.
So the people watching who may not have this sort of feeling before in their lives, what does a race like this feel like when you're in the throes of marathon training? Like your legs right now.
There's no pop.
It's tough, yeah. I feel like I didn't pop, but I didn't, and I don't know whether this is more a mentality thing or not, but I just didn't feel like I had that competitive edge that I would have had. 3 weeks ago at Bix, I felt good about the race. I came in and I was like, I could win this if I'd run well, and I had legs under me, whereas I don't know whether it's a training thing or whether it's more so I know that I have Chicago and that's kind of the big goal now. So I think I came in today not so much as this is a big race on the calendar for me that I'm excited about. It was more so just a checkpoint in the training. And so when the race got going, it's hard to kind of tap into that and really roll. Because I felt physically, I felt okay. I crossed the line and felt fine. I just didn't quite have that extra gear or that drive to compete as much as I usually would today.
Why'd you choose Chicago?
Chicago debut, why?
Originally the plan was going to be New York if I ran World Champs in the 10K. But yeah, I think Chicago's a great one as far as it's a little more forgiving as far as the course itself goes. From what I've heard, if you're doing New York, you've got to train as if it's almost like a 30-mile race. And coming from a 6-mile race, I figured I don't really want to train for much more than the 26.2 that I have to. But yeah, and it's just, it fits well on the calendar. It doesn't draw out the season too much, so, you can take a bit of a break and in the fall and really enjoy that and enjoy getting unfit before the struggle back. But I'm excited about it. I feel like there's a lot of hype around Chicago. I've heard great things. Obviously, I think they do build the field around kind of having an American finishing towards the front, so it means it's more of a race rather than just a time trial and going out there with a time goal. So, which is exciting. That's kind of what I'm really excited about the roads with, is that you take the time away a bit and it's pure racing, kind of like cross country was for me as a kid. So, which is why I got in the sport. So, yeah.
Hopefully you get better weather than last year.
Weather's weather, mate. You can't control that, can you? But,
waking up the morning of a marathon that you've been training for 4 months for, and it's just come on.
Yeah, all of that.
That's the weather I got.
That's the weather, yeah.
Logistically, can we move this till tomorrow?
Yeah, right? That's what everyone was saying in 2018 in Boston, yeah.
Nah, just push it. Yeah, but hey, today was good training for humidity stuff. If you do get
It was.
kind of
Yeah.
swamped in October.
Yeah.
So if he was your athlete, I guess what advice would you give
First
him?
time
If he's a
marathoner.
perform
Give him
athlete
some
for you?
advice. Let's see if we should go to perform. What is it?
Yeah, perform running.
Perform running.
over there.
No free ads.
No, I would
Except this one.
sponsor athlete and also unsponsored athlete. I would take another page out of Ben's book from running here, and it is do not make it a race until the last 10K. I feel like everybody says that. I know Marty told me that before my first marathon, but first 20 miles is just
You're
meant
just on
to
a long
be-
run.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly.
First 20 miles.
Yeah. It sounds so dumb. It sounds so dumb when
Dude,
you're
the
like,
last
it doesn't
10K
sound dumb, it's
It's,
just daunting. It's like, wow, I got to just like try and stay relaxed.
The
for
last
20
10K
miles.
takes care of itself. That's what everyone says. You just got to get there.
Whether it's quick or slow, it takes care of
Yeah.
itself. But, yeah.
Very
No.
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, because Marty was based in Philly while I was there, and so having him and kind of watching his build up just before you guys both ran out at what was that marathon? The Marathon Project.
Yeah.
It was great to see. Like, it's kind of you kind of got a taste for what marathon training is going to be like, and especially Marty doing it with the way he's doing it, with his med stool stuff and all of that. There's definitely a lot of things you have to adjust to from the track. I'm learning. You kind of have to find a line and not cross it early on.
Yeah.
A lot of, can't do what I did in Tokyo because it's a long last 20 miles.
Yeah.
But so it's, it's been a big learning curve, and I think my first one will be a lot of that, like a lot of lessons learnt, and hopefully, that's the reason we're doing it now, is so that when it comes to Paris and we're deciding between 10K and marathon, it's not kind of a guessing game. You kind of have a bit of experience.
So when you have Alistair and Amy as your coaches, is it like you're running a 3K, Alistair's giving you advice, and now a marathon, it's like, all right, Amy, you got this one?
It's interesting because I think obviously Amy had such a successful career in the marathon, so she did a lot of things right. But Alistair I think he did a lot of training with Ryan Hall while he was doing his marathon build-up, and his marathon career didn't go as he'd planned, but I think that's also very valuable to have, is because he's telling me that there were sessions he was absolutely crushing Ryan in, but then when it came to a race, Ryan was kind of able to flow, and he just didn't quite have the legs for it. So it's great to kind of have both those perspectives coming from it, and because I think if you just have someone coaching you who every marathon went well or had a successful career, like, unless your career goes exactly the same way, kind of fucked. Because it's just like...
You just show up and the last 10K takes care of itself. That's the sort of advice you're going to be getting.
I think that's one of the beauties about the marathon, is it goes so differently for so many people. So the more people you can talk to and get different info and kind of apply it to yourself in your training and stuff like that, you learn a lot about yourself there and can kind of figure out what your method is for it and go from there. So it's definitely good having two heads on it who are coming from slightly different angles.
Are you going to be in North Carolina for the entire build-up?
No, so I'm after this week we're actually going to go up to Mammoth Lakes.
Honeymoon in Mammoth?
Honeymoon at altitude, yeah. So we'll go up there for like 5 weeks or so, basically right up until Chicago.
Very cool.
Yeah. That'll be
So,
good.
Colin, I guess you're in the know here. We saw Marty's name announced for New York, I think, this fall.
New York.
And it's like the first marathon we've seen him in a while. What can we expect? Like, what's the buzz so far on Marty and his fitness?
A little school and stuff now, right?
Yeah. Now he's a doctor.
Dr. Marty.
He's doing
Paging
residency.
Dr. Marty.
He's about I think he's about 10 days away from baby girl number 3 coming.
Wow.
So he's about
stocking up dad strength.
Yeah. So he's
guy.
I know somehow he's excited about the fact that he's going to be taking care of 3 children as opposed to working in the hospital, and he's ready to do a lot of workouts and get ready for New York. But I mean, Marty has proven time and again that he can just show up and run these things, and so I think the fact that he's waited 2 years since Marathon Project to really kind of line up, I think he has banked up a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to get out there and crush. And being a New York boy, I think that kind of helps him add a little added motivation.
Oh, he might
like
take you
upstate New York.
he would tell you. He would tell you barely.
There goes your hopes of being
I think,
top New Yorker.
I think he's like Albany marathon, maybe closer.
I'll let him argue with you on that one.
Oh man, no, there's plenty to be excited about. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down with us. Best of luck with Perform.
Thank you.
It seems like it's off to a good start.
Yeah, it's great.
And Pat, best of luck with marathon training.
And the wedding.
Thank
And
you.
the wedding.
Yeah. Hopefully the wedding goes
Yeah.
smooth. Hopefully we don't have to wait till 10K to go to but yeah, although it's felt like that. It's been a long time coming, but yeah. No, thanks, fellas.
You just say I do, and the rest takes care of itself.
That's what we're told.
All right,
All right,
thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for joining us. All right. I wonder if we're going to have another guest or two.
I need Gatorade.
What?
All of your athletes are stuck in drug testing
Oh,
or have
really?
left.
Or have
so
left.
I asked, we tried to get Edna on,
Okay.
but she's in drug testing.
It's okay.
It's all
Along
good.
with everyone
I'm baking
else.
in the sun right now,
Yeah,
and
we're-
I'm very
I'm gonna have a
dehydrated.
I think
bad
we might be
farmer's
the
camp from
last,
this.
ones here.
Do you want to tell us quickly about your race and specifically what happened immediately after?
Coach Kyle's really been holding it down. It's a hot one out there. Some athletes handle the heat better. I think you had Colin on. San Francisco's freezing in the summer.
Yeah.
So the heat training was 0, and someone ended up in the med tent, and that someone was me.
Yeah.
And I actually just walked in there for a bag of ice, and it became very dramatic, very fast. They basically huck you into an ice tub, put a thermometer in a place you don't want it,
Oof.
and it's not a fun experience.
What was your reading? How hot?
105?
105. I think you're supposed to be 7 degrees cooler. If my math is correct.
Yeah. 104 is technically heat stroke. 103
Oh my
is heat
God.
exertion.
And you're just like hanging out in the sun right now.
No, it came. I'm
back
good with
down.
the sun. I just got the chills the last 2 miles.
Yeah.
So,
At
anyways,
first you're like, the crowd is giving me chills.
it was just it's a fun race. It's a hard race for a lot of reasons. I think Keira D'Amato, training in Virginia, what's the saying? Humidity is the poor man's altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no altitude and no humidity, so I was just not set up for success.
Oh, boy.
My dear friend Nikki Hiltz almost tried to outkick me at the end.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Sandbagger.
Especially after they won the mile.
Yeah, they won the mile. Way too fit to be out here.
Yeah, it's cheating.
But stellar day. It's great to have you guys in my town.
No, this is fun. My first time at Falmouth, and so
We're so glad that we were invited
yeah.
to come and hang out. This was super fun. Great
You guys
shout
were
out
just
to the
across the
racing
way,
owners.
right over there in Martha's Vineyard. That's what this team did last
Yeah,
year.
last year, a year ago, around this time, we were taping podcasts out in Martha's Vineyard.
Right across the Vineyard Sound.
And now look at us doing live shows after races.
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who
Not
would've
us.
thought?
Look at us, not me.
All right, Chris, give us the official sign off. But
All right,
this is the
everyone.
first time we've ever done an after the final lap at a road race. First
Yeah.
time we ever streamed a mile last night.
Yeah.
Pretty
so
fun.
A lot of firsts.
We're experimenting out here. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. This has been great. We'll try and break out some of these interviews. You can catch a full replay of this. You can catch the race on NBC 10 if you missed it. Results, photos, all that stuff on the CITIUS MAG social media pages. Thanks again for watching. I'm Chris Chavez, Kyle Merber, Dana Giordano. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Cue the music.